Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the following means. Annual notice was sent to the Herald and News, the Record, the South Bergenite, the Observer, Township Clerk, and posted in the lobby of the Town Hall and Board Office, setting forthcoming scheduled work meetings and public meeting of the Board. I'd like a motion approval minutes from 13, 14, and 15.
Second.
Oh, that's right, one is not here.
Wait.
The 13. The
We have to
13
do
and
the
14.
one at a time.
Yes.
13 first?
We have a first and a second.
Okay.
You can't make motion.
Roll call,
This is for meeting 13.
13.
Mr. Abiscato.
Abstain.
Ms. Alberti. Ms. Alciuri. Ms. Jarvis. Ms. Malinak. Mr. Musto. Mr. Schweck. Mr. Vuno.
4.
Meeting 14.
Make motion 14.
We have a second? Beverly? Roll call,
Meeting 14. Mr. Abiscato.
4.
Ms. Alberti. Ms. Alciuri. Ms. Jarvis. Ms. Malinak. Mr. Musto. Mr. Schweck. Mr. Vuno.
4. Meeting 15. Need a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Meeting 15. Mr. Abiscato.
4.
Ms. Alberti. Ms. Alciuri. Ms. Jarvis. Ms. Malinak. Mr. Musto. Mr. Schweck. Mr. Vuno.
4.
Motion 16.
That's it. We okay?
Yes.
David? Communications?
I have one communication from the Veterans Alliance inviting everyone to the ceremony on November 11th at 11 a.m. to be held at the corners of New York and Delafield Avenue. All board members received a copy. Just reading this into the minutes. Thank you.
Okay, we have some presentations. Sure.
Okay, so once again, we have amazing faculty with their amazing accomplishments that we always want to celebrate. So our first recipient this evening for an award is someone who put in a grant for a free 12-month subscription to a mathematics software titled Reflex that will help students develop their math fluency. So the retail price is pretty high, so this is a really nice award, and we congratulate Felicia Lott of Roosevelt School for that.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. We also had another teacher on her own put in for a grant, and this resulted in a $1,000 grant from the Allen Distinguished Educators Do-It-Yourself organization. And if I'm correct, I believe it's for the creation of hermit crab habitat. So Stacy Tulloch, please come on up. I'm going to go back in time for these recipients because actually we had some awards come over this summer, And we waited for everything to be finalized, and we were just so excited when they were finalized because we had a few people represent different schools in the Great Crayon Challenge. And each of these recipients won a 3D printer for their school. First recipient is representing Franklin School, Teresa Matvienko. The next recipient is the representative from Memorial Campus, where she's going to get her steps in tonight, Stacy Tullen. And also earning a 3D printer for Columbus School, this is Diane Gress. Who could not be with us tonight, but planned on it, but due to the call of duty on our police force, had to tend to something a little more important. But we do want to publicly thank Richard Pizzuti for all of the work he does for us every year in collecting donations of backpacks and school supplies for students in need. So we'll certainly give this to him on our behalf, but we do it. A beautiful reception by the Bergen County Utilities Authority. So the Bergen County Utilities Authority gives a tremendous amount back to county educators. Anyone who is willing to take on an activity that's going to result in a greener environment, that's going to protect the environment, or is going to do something that involves recycling, can put forward their ideas, and if the county respects what they're doing, then they value them through these grants. So we were so excited this year to have so many people apply for grants and actually also be awarded. I think overall we're one of the most populated townships there, and it really was with great pride that I was able to be there, part of that experience. So while each one of them is doing different work, we do want to make sure that we acknowledge all of their work together. So from Lincoln School, we have a grant from the Bergen County Utility Authority going to both Mr. Michael White and Ms. Cynthia Lisa. Also receiving a grant for this same Environmental Awareness Challenge from the Bergen County Utility Authority, Ms. Stacy Tullen. From Jefferson School, Mr. John Blevis. Bergen County Utilities Authority, Mrs. Christina Bernardo from Washington State. We'll be sure to get these awards to their proper recipients, and we thank you so much for your time and attention, and once again, congratulations to all of our winners.
Finance Committee, Mr. Schweck.
There's going to be three separate motions made. Okay, so I'll start off. Any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of finance and facilities, the district planning committee may so indicate now in a separate motion for each of the accepted items will be entertained. Okay, I'll make motion that the board accept items 1 through 10.
Second. Roll call.
Mr. Abiscato. 4. Ms. Alberti. 4. Ms. Alciuri. 4. Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Malinak.
4.
Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Schweck.
4.
Mr. Bruno.
4.
Okay, now item number 11. Make motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Abiscato. 4. Ms. Alberti.
4.
Ms. Alciuri.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
Abstain.
Ms. Malinak.
4.
Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Schweck.
4.
Mr. Bruno.
Is this just for 11?
Yes.
And now, I
4.
okay, now we make motion for item number 12.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Abiscato. 4. Ms. Alberti. 4. Ms. Alciuri.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Malinak.
4.
Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Schweck.
4.
Mr. Bruno.
Abstain. Education. Ms. Alciuri?
Any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of educational curriculum may so indicate now in separate motion for each of the accepted actions being entertained. Hearing none, I make a motion that 1 to 14 be accepted.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Abiscato. 4. Ms. Alberti. 4. Ms. Alciuri.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Malinak.
4.
Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Schweck.
4.
Mr. Bruno.
4. Policies. Go, Joe.
Any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of rules and regulations committee may so indicate now, and separate motions for each of the accepted items will be entertained. Hearing none, I make a motion that we accept items 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Abiscato. 4. Ms. Alberti. 4. Ms. Alciuri. 4. Ms. Jarvis. 4. Ms. Malinak.
4.
Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Schweck.
4.
Mr. Bruno.
4. Athletics, student activity. Sherry Jarvis.
Be it resolved that the Lyndhurst Board of Education approve a student to attend the Prep Academy in Paramus starting September 27, 2016, at a tuition of $49,391.88. Transportation will be provided by the South Bergen Joint Commission.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Abiscato. 4. Ms. Alberti. 4. Ms. Alciuri.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Malinak.
4.
Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Schweck. 4. Mr. Bruno.
4. New business, would you do that, Beth, please?
Be it resolved that the Lyndhurst Board of Education approved the statement of assurance for the 2016-17 school year.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Abiscato. 4. Ms. Alberti. 4. Ms. Alciuri.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Malinak.
4.
Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Schweck.
4.
Mr. Bruno.
4. Personnel, Chris?
Any board member who takes exception to any of the following list of actions under the category of personnel may so indicate now in a separate motion for each of the accepted actions to be entertained. Hearing none, I move to approve, make a motion to approve numbers 1 through 14.
Roll call.
Mr. Abiscato. 4. Ms. Alberti. 4. Ms. Alciuri. 4. Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Malinak.
4.
Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Schweck. 4. Mr. Bruno.
4. Any unfinished business? None? Okay. Absolutely.
Great, thank you. Okay, so I just want to bring your attention to one of the attachments that was available for you, which is our park and assessment data results. So this is a compilation of our spring 2016 PARC assessment data, as well as the comparison to 2015, because we only have the 2 years to compare, so we do want to provide you with that. It also gives you data results of the New Jersey Ask Science tests administered in grades 4 and 8, as well as the New Jersey Biology Competency Test, which is for our biology students. All of this data is now under careful, thorough analysis, and that's being done at multiple levels. As per state code, we have only so many days to make this data known to the public. So we're abiding by state code. We would love a little bit more time, but the state's not giving that to us. So what we're doing is we're certainly providing this to you. We do want you to know that we are extremely proud of our improvements. Our student enrollment and participation rates skyrocketed this year. Every single one of our schools made the mandated participation percentage. We were so happy. There's only one school that missed it by 2 students, so we're going to work on that this year for sure. But we really, really thank the parents who trusted in us and believed in us, and the faculty members who really worked to prepare the kids to better understand that we're not preparing them for a test. We're teaching to standards, and the test is then based on those standards. In addition, I do want you to know that some of the things that are really popping out at us is that in English language arts, we are really blowing it out of the ballpark. We are doing fantastic. We're beating state averages, we're beating peer group averages, we're even beating the cross-state averages. So we're so proud of that, and we're going to continue forging forward to get even higher scores. In math, we're doing very well also, but we do notice some places where our students are just missing the next level. And now we really want to work on the power of productive struggle. Really want to get kids to kind of hang in there and persevere a little bit longer on those math problems to push themselves to that next level. And you know, really focus on one of the key terms I think we're hearing a lot of, and that's grit. So really having students push themselves to their limit so they can really have that sense of accomplishment and know what they can in fact accomplish. So we invite you to look at those results. We also invite you to stay on the lookout for an evening event that we're going to be having in the future, whereby we'll be deconstructing all of this, breaking it down, inviting parents to please bring their children's own reports that they've received, so we can talk about those and the various components of them and really give some personalized help as we prepare for this year's administration. So that will be forthcoming, but in the meantime, again, our thanks to the students, our thanks to the parents, but our tremendous thanks to the faculty. This is a whole new realm for us, and to have these types of results coming out in year 2 of a test is really just a testament to their work, their perseverance, and their determination to give our kids a most excellent education. So that's pretty much all I have to share right now, but please keep in mind that we will be having that event, and we encourage everyone to please be part of that, and we can really break down the analysis. Thank you so much for your time.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Nope, nobody signed up. Okay, this meeting's adjourned.